Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, the guest today is probably one of my just favorite artists. I mean, I've been in radio 25 years, and for 20 of those years, I've known this gentleman. He is not only a writer, singer, producer, philanthropist, innovator, world ambassador. I can say world ambassador because you do a lot of things for a lot of people across this country. There can be only one person I'm talking about. It is Akon. Welcome to the show.
What up, Frisco?
Come on, man. Come on. Today's show I want to call 20 Years of Trouble. Because 2024, we know that was 20 years of the album Trouble, right? 20-year celebration. I know you probably not really big into celebrating certain things. It's kind of life goes on, you know. So we hit certain milestones, but you should have came on the show in 24. But we in 2025, so we're gonna start off the year the right way. But I figure it's right to celebrate your success because if you don't do it, then I'm gonna do it for you. That's what we're gonna do today.
I appreciate that. I prefer other people to do it than I do it.
Well, that's what I'm here for, man. I got you, dog. So,
my guy.
First of all, welcome back to the show. Last time we spoke, it was during the pandemic. A lot of unknowns were happening during that time. I think you were in Africa. You spending time over there, launching the city and talking about solar panels and all that. But what's new, man? I mean, the last 4 years we haven't had the chance to chop it up. I know we got Beautiful Day, the big single. We're gonna talk about that in a minute. But how's Akon, man? How are you doing?
Man, I've been amazing, bro. I promise you, everything's been amazing. You know, God willing, I was able to accomplish a lot of things that I wanted to accomplish. Focus on the homeland, doing some major things there. You know, and then now I just got remotivated for the music thing again. Because when I came back to the States, man, I was listening for the radio, just listening for something that would motivate me, and I just didn't hear it. It was like I didn't understand which direction music was going. You know, it was just a lot of negative energy, and the frequency just wasn't as positive as I would have wanted it to be. You know what I mean?
No, I get it, and that's I think a lot of radio personalities have been feeling that same way as well.
Right.
And that's why I think you see a lot of the throwbacks.
Yeah,
that's come back real heavy right now.
It's
There's a lot of artists from 04, 05, the 2000s, and 1999s or whatever that are really making a killing right now touring because I think you're seeing not just like radio and other musicians, but fans.
Yeah.
Like you got a lot of teenagers that are like, you weren't even born yet, and y'all vibing with this, right? I'm sure you see it all the time.
It's unbelievable because as I was doing the promotions for even Beautiful Day, I was listening and watching some of the comments from some of the, the Z, and I was like, yo, this is weird because a lot of them thought I was a brand new artist. Like, I would read the comments, they'd be like, yeah, he up next.
Right.
Like, yo, I'm telling you, this new artist, you got to check him out. Oh, he ill with it. And I was like, wow, they don't even really know me.
No,
you know?
And I saw something like his debut single.
Yeah.
Like, his debut studio
everything.
project. I'm like, what?
And then you see the OGs and all the, the older generation, commenters be like, y'all don't know that? Y'all, I don't know about this. And it's like, it's weird to see the different contrast of just how, 2 decades has made, like, it's a whole nother audience now. But I love it because it puts me back in a brand new artist, mode again, brand new artist scene. That's the energy that I always wanted.
So it's cool to see, I would imagine, like, just generations. Like, I know sometimes if I'm hosting a club, be like, hey, my mom. Wait, hold on right. A whole nother life right now. How do I know your mom? What's your mom's name? You know what I mean? Wait, what city you in? And so I'm sure you see that,
I get that all the time. All the time, man. It's interesting. It's really interesting because you do got to be careful how you reply to certain things.
Right.
In our day, we had a lot of different, like, we had a lot of fun. Let me just put it that way.
Yeah. Well, look, 20 Years of Trouble. What I want to do on the show today is kind of go through some of the biggest records that were on the album, but then also, man, because, I was preparing when I'm going through the show prep and I'm looking through everything. I'm going through the hits, and me and Phenom, we in the ride over here. I'm like, yeah, you remember this one? Bam, remember this one? Then I threw my left ball, curveball here. Glasses Malone, certified.
Wow.
No, come on, man.
Yeah,
for a
certified.
minute, your pocket was like, you were every dope boy, and there's some D girls out there too, man.
Right.
But you were their favorite. Like, the hooks couldn't be touched, man. If Akon was on the hook, you talking to the hood, it had to come from you, bro. And you were in that pocket, right? Jeezy Soul Survivor.
No, it's too many to count, honestly.
Still will with 50 Cent, man.
It's
just something about the way you touched them hooks during that pocket, during that time, man.
Right.
And then fast forward, you still going. Let's start off with one of your favorites from Trouble right now. Let's do that. What you want to do?
One of my favorites from Trouble will probably definitely be Locked Up.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
That's the record that saved my life, honestly. That was a turning point of where life could have been, or what that is to become what I needed to be or should become. You know what I mean? Like, that turning point was interesting because that was around the time where your back was against the wall. You had to choose a side. You either got to, and it's about survival, I can grind this out focus on my career and just hope that it becomes something, or do something that I already know that's working, but yet it has the potential to land me in jail forever.
Bro, I remember.
You know what I mean?
Like, I remember I remember playing it, SRC, the black and white joint.
Yep.
I mean, I remember, I can visualize it right now. I remember getting it, putting it on, and I don't even think we really heard it the whole way. I said, hey, we're running this in the mix at 5. Let's roll.
No, that's what's up.
And it was on the mixtapes. I put it on everything because I think we all felt that way, and it connected with so many different people across the world.
It really did, man. And I think my experiences at that time was so relatable because there was so many people going through it, but there was no voice for it. You know what I mean? And it was interesting because it was at a time where, the crossover, rhythmic, and all that wasn't even, it didn't even exist then.
Right.
It was either pop or hip hop. Like it wasn't even no urban. Like it was either pop or hip hop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. And
like
you would hit both.
And wow, it was just one of them things because it was like they didn't really know where to put me at that time because there was no rhythmic. Like if I look at myself now, I look at myself as more of a rhythmic, top 40 artist at this point, right? Because I crossed over into Mr. Lonely and all the dance stuff. But for the most part, where I was at, that was kind of rhythmic before rhythmic was even a thing.
Right.
So hip hop, it was a little too colorful for hip hop at the time, but then too dark for pop. So what balanced it was when I grabbed Styles P and put him on there.
Right.
Then it made it something like, okay.
Well, then I think you have markets like in Albuquerque, New Mexico, where I was at that time.
Wow.
And I think you have some of these cities where there is a heavy, not to say all Hispanics are in jail or anything like
that,
right. But I'm thinking our stations, there would be a lot of people that really called and requested
because that's how the record actually broke. Like the record broke from people calling in from the pen on three-way with their families requesting Locked Up.
I know. I was picking up the phone calls. So that's why I say I know in different markets that I did radio in.
Right.
Which happened to be dominant Hispanic markets that people think of, really helped elevate that record and get to where it had to go, especially on the West Coast. Man.
Yeah, see, I didn't understand. I wasn't on the West Side to understand what that story was. It would be people like you that tell me those stories.
Yeah. Let's talk about Beautiful Day right quick.
Right.
Can we do this? Because
man, absolutely.
It's a beautiful record. Hey, we know that.
Man,
and really, Akon's Beautiful Day. Because I think a couple years ago we saw, and I love the way you put him in the video.
Right.
The Jamaican boy. I don't even know his name, but did you find out his name? Do you know his name?
I'm just bad with names. I speak to him all the time.
Oh my God! So
I just call him Sunshine.
He stole everybody's heart.
Yeah.
And I think you being a person who can see the future, see what the world needs. I don't know how you did it. You put it together and made this magic happen and gave the world another gift with this song right here, man.
Man, that's definitely God-given at the end of the day because a lot of people don't really know that was one of my earlier demos.
Oh wow!
It was a time in I think around 2012 where I had a leak. I had about 120 songs with choruses and back tracks that got leaked over the internet. So a lot of features that people was hearing weren't official features. They were just songs that people pulled from the internet and just kind of put verses on them. So it was an interesting time. That's why I kind of flooded the market.
Yeah.
And no one knew how I was on 300 like something features.
Yeah.
That's not even doable. But because I had leaked, so many records had got leaked.
So was it an intentional leak?
It wasn't intentional. No, it wasn't intentional at all. Like I thought it was a nightmare, but later it became a gift.
Yeah.
But what's interesting was that was one of the songs that actually got leaked. That became a hit in the Caribbeans, and it became one of those hymns where, when I fast forward 10 years later, this mind you now, what you saw on Snapchat was something that was done years ago.
Isn't that
crazy? It
crazy?
wasn't current.
TikTok, Instagram, they take
it wasn't current
know.
because the kid is a grown man now.
Wow. People running around Jamaica looking for this little kid to sign him.
He's like 26, 27.
Wow.
He's a grown guy. You know what I mean? But it's interesting though to see that, and then you see how even outside of us infrastructure, when the hit record is in a perspective, it becomes something that inspires people just by listening to it. So coming back when it got hit on TikTok and I saw it again, I was like, yo, I got to put this out. I got to re-record this and really put this out.
That's a full circle moment.
It was literally a full circle moment.
Oh my God.
So we reached out to them because it was some extra additives on the record that was beyond what I added to it. And I said, listen, I'm going to redo this record. I'm going to add you on as a writer. And then we're going to take the first million made and put it back into your foundation and help it actually rebuild the school that you actually did that in. So now we're actually looking to reconstruct that same school that he was in Jamaica through the profits that we're making from Beautiful Day.
Yeah, man. I don't even think people understand what you're doing with that, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that.
No, absolutely.
You know, that's what I'm saying. It's a gift, and that's why I call it
It
a gift,
is.
because
It
I know
is a
you're
gift.
really big on blessings and sharing your gifts and your ability, and things go through certain different people and spreading that with other
1000%,
people, man. So we obviously had the original version. Now
Yep.
we got a remix with David Guetta.
Yep. The Guetta mix is crazy.
Which y'all make something happen
Yeah,
every
that's-
time. From
yeah,
Sexy
that's-
Chick.
that's my dog.
Gotta keep it G. Sexy Chick, you know what I mean? And to other things you've done. And I mean, you gotta have something more, because I know you just don't put out one remix. You're always doing more
Yeah,
than that.
yeah. So the David Guetta remix is actually the single to the EP
Okay.
of remixes.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's Akon's Beautiful Remixes. So it's the Beautiful Day remixes of all. It's about 5 versions of it, including David's version.
All right. Now, do we have any other artists? Because I know there's some artists in my mind who I think should automatically kind of be on it.
I agree, but actually there's only going to probably be one artist on there, believe it or not. The rest are DJ remixes.
Okay.
But I was, you know, a good friend of mine, he's like my brother from another mother, Pitbull, reached
There
out
we go.
and was like, yo, Con, man, what we doing with this record? I need to jump on it.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, let me reach out to David to see if he would love that. He said, man, because you know me, that's automatic, but let me just reach out. He's like, man, I would love that. So I said, yeah, let's do it. So I sent them the stems, and once he do it, we're going to add that to the package as well.
Hell yeah. There we go. You got it right
what
here
I'm
first, man. Pitbull exclusive on Globalization. Pitbull on Akon's Beautiful Day. Look out for that in the EP. I would imagine y'all are like similar.
Nah,
like,
we're the same. He's a twin.
it's-
That's my twin right there.
It's so crazy because y'all are so positive and so inspirational. When I go through your Instagram and I'm looking at this quote, or somebody's having like not the best day, they can go to your gram and all of a sudden see like give me a quote, give me a line right quick.
This is the thing. Like, people oftentimes are always worrying about what they want, right? But they oftentimes realize that what they need is always been there, right? So the things that, for instance, that makes you, let's say, depressed.
Yeah.
Think about why. There's no reason why people are really mad or depressed, because oftentimes what makes people upset don't really mean anything, because it's always something that's related to something that they can't control. You understand what I'm saying?
That's why they say you can't necessarily always stay mad at things that are happening to you. You got to control how you're going to react to that.
See, the key is to accept everything as it is. Like, life is
Yes.
about balance, right?
Yeah.
You got light, you got dark, you
Yeah.
got positive, you got negative, you got woman, you got man, you got up, you got down. Like, everything has a balance, right? So there is, mind you, it goes back to you got pleasure, you got pain. So if you embrace the pleasure, then you have to, without a question, embrace the pain, because nothing great comes without either a sacrifice or some kind of pain attached to it. So you got to know that whatever you're dealing with now is only opening the doors for something positive. So accept that, get through it, so that you can experience the positive side of it.
Come on, man. I need you to just leave me a voicemail every
know?
morning, Akon. Hey, I'm going to go back to just speaking of Pitt and speaking of globalization, what we do here. You know, we play music from all over the world.
Right.
I know you put out an album a couple years ago, El,
El
Negrito.
Negrito.
You still getting some good feedback on
Man,
that?
we're getting great feedback on that. And it's interesting because, like, only the Latin fans know about the record.
Right.
It never crossed over in the urban, my pop side. Nobody don't even know that record. These records exist. But when I go to places like Brazil, and I go to places like, you know, just all the Latin American side of things, it's just like those records are still blasting crazy. Like, I have to actually add all those records to my shows, because before I never added them to the show.
yeah.
But now they're all a part of the playlist in the shows. You know what I mean?
When you go to, like, I know you just did a tour in like Southeast Asia, you did Thailand, Malaysia, a lot of different countries on that side of the world. Do they know the English and some Spanish, like some
Now,
of the bigger records? Or?
interesting that you mentioned that, because I just did a huge celebration for the New Year's in Bali. When I was in Bali, they knew the Latin records just as much as they knew the English records.
That's crazy.
So instead of now us doing the hour show just for the you know the midnight, you know, transition of the New Year, they wanted a 2-hour show both for the Latin side and the American side of records.
Wow.
And I ain't come prepared for it, but we did it anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
Who's your DJ still?
Oh, Benny D.
Benny D still?
Yep, still.
20 years.
20 years. My
Rocking
God,
with
since day
Benny
one.
D, man. That's good to hear. So
Yep.
I know he's prepared. So
Oh yeah,
no
he's
matter what
always
your
ready.
set
He's
is,
always
he's ready to go.
Yeah, he's always ready.
Yeah, man. So
We just go by request. It's on demand now.
everything. You got it.
Yep.
Are we going to see another Spanish any more coming up with that? Or are we focusing just strictly on your next big project?
I am doing a Spanish album, but it's not. El Negrito is probably just gonna be a shadow, and
okay.
I got this new project that I'm doing. It's like I kind of want to tell everybody what I'm about to do, but
Come on, man.
it's
You might as
supposed to
well.
be. I'm supposed to trick everybody.
Okay.
So if I kind of say it, then it's gonna kind of give up what I want to do.
Okay,
because
okay.
But just know it's gonna be a lot of Latin incorporated within it. But then it's gonna be something else incorporated within it that no one ever would see coming.
Damn, man, you can't be doing that to us now, man. You can't, it's like playing just a tip, dog. You can't. What we doing, man?
You know what I'm saying?
All right. So,
but just know the name of the album, and just the concept. When you start hearing A Clone, just know it's coming.
A Clone.
Yeah.
I'm already starting to have some. Okay, never
Just
mind.
it's gonna have your mind running, but I promise
that's 25,
it's
26?
gonna make sense.
25, 26.
That's gonna be it's gonna be introduced in mid 2025.
Okay, all right then. We'll keep y'all updated with that one right here. Akon, we celebrating 20 years of Trouble. I got to go through another one of these, man. Is it Ghetto, Lonely? We could say that one because that's the world.
Yeah, they big.
Let's do Ghetto, man. Can we do Ghetto?
Man, let's definitely do Ghetto.
Yeah. And let me just tell you a story about this because you went all over the country.
Yeah.
Finding different places. I remember this because one of those spots was in New Mexico.
Yep, sure was.
And you really went to the different reses and different places to shoot this. Do you still get people coming up to you every day saying, I was at the video shoot, or I appreciate what this song meant for me at that time?
Man, interestingly enough, when we did the Akon Super Fan Tour, those were like day one fans from day one. And we would go to certain areas, like when we was in the Bay, for instance. I was getting a lot of fans that came back was like, yo, I was at the video at the reservation. I was like, damn, I forgot all about that video, right? Like, you remember the song, but then Ghetto was an interesting video because what we did, we went everywhere in the world. We went and grabbed pretty much the guttest ghettos in every section of the world, and we actually shot a version of that there. You know what I mean? Yep. But outside of America, we actually grabbed whoever was the hottest hip-hop artist that was from whatever those hoods was, and we would feature them on the song. Yeah. So it was so many different versions. Like, back then, everything was either vinyl, tapes, but each of those, you had to be in that territory to get that version. Right. It ain't like today where you can just download all those versions. Right. Speaking of that, I'm going to talk to Steve. I think we need to upload all those versions. Yeah. Because there's so many versions that people had never heard. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Your library is already impressive.
Yeah.
You had them remixes to it.
Oh, my goodness.
Level, another level. And you've done that with multiple songs, right? There's always been the different versions of everything.
Pretty much every song.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes you, that really took you
that's
to
what
that
gave
global
us
superstar
That's what gave us the
status,
global footprint and gave us a head start, too.
Yeah. And speaking of that, let's talk about global because I think, we talked about how there was hip-hop, then there was pop records, right? But when Lonely came out.
Oh, yeah, that was it.
That was special.
That changed everything.
At that moment, the first time hearing it, I know you were in the studio, right? But when you heard it on the radio the first time, what was that moment for you? And did you know, or was there a station that played it that you thought maybe would never play it, and then all of a sudden you knew at that moment this is going to be big?
Well, see, around that time I didn't really understand the power of each station. I thought every radio station was the same. It's just radio. Yeah. I didn't realize the difference between Hot 97 and Kiss. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's just, like, I didn't know. I just figured it was normal. But when I heard Mr. Lonely on the radio for the first time, it changed the dynamic of what radio felt like to me. Because for the first time, I felt like, okay, I think this record is going to be the one that changed my life. Yeah. I already felt like I'm doing well, but I was still in the hood. Right? So the hood will remind you every day that you come from here. Right. But Mr. Lonely was like, that was the first time. After that is when I started to see more white fans in the audience than blacks. And I was like, I think we here. Yeah, we crossed it over there. After that, it became Salt and Pepper. Then after that, it was just like, I don't see no black people in my audience today at all. Yeah. And if I do, they're not from America for sure. Yeah.
What's crazy about that? I know a lot of Texas artists, whether it's a Paul Wall or a Slim Thug or Chameleon or whoever it might be. Right. When we've known this since like the late 90s, that there would be a majority, depending on the club you would go to. Right. But overall, the city, or in Texas or in Houston, there would be a huge mix of people to where at one point it would be majority white people, Hispanic people in the audiences. Right. And so then that's when people started to understand, I have to make music that's going to reach everybody, and I can. Yeah. And so that's another perfect example of that.
Perfect example.
All right, so let's talk about going from hip-hop, you crossed over, Trouble, you're seeing all the success, everything's moving, and then you start looking at other artists that kind of start coming into the portfolio here, right? Like I know we got the records with Cardinal Official, Kobe Odonis. I can say Lady Gaga. Everybody knows the story about you, Lady Gaga, but that was huge. Had to be huge. T-Pain. I mean, so many other artists. Is there one collaboration or artist that when you started having your platform to put people on that didn't pop, that you wished, that you really still feel like this artist could have really been another huge superstar underneath your belt?
Well, I mean, one is for sure Kobe Odonis.
Yeah.
He was Justin Bieber before Justin Bieber. His unfortunate situation was that his dad kind of took over his career, made the decision for him because he was a minor, and he just made just horrible decisions for him because he had literally the #1 record on the planet at the time.
Yeah.
I used Kobe to break Lady Gaga. You know, when we came out with Just Dance, Kobe was huge everywhere.
Right.
So we added Kobe on Lady Gaga's record just to give him the exposure that Kobe's audience had, and which helped to blast her off.
Right.
You know, that's how big Kobe was.
And this is like 07 to 08.
Yeah, it's like 07
Because
to
I
08.
remember, you're right, Kobe's, he did a station event for us, and his dad
Right.
was like everywhere with Kobe, like in the DJ booth, anywhere we went.
No,
like his dad was right there with
he
him.
was Kobe.
Yeah, I remember that. Do you still talk to most of the artists that you've worked with?
Oh yeah, I still talk to everybody.
Okay.
I still talk to everybody, man.
So if there was a chance where Kobe might say, "Hey, man, I want to do this again."
Interestingly enough, he is about to do it again.
Hold on, right quick.
Yeah.
We're gonna get more Kobe Odonis in 2025.
We dropping Kobe's album.
Come on,
we dropping his first single in February. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
this
we
is
dropping in
amazing.
February.
And I also know you got another group that you're working with, Simeon.
Yeah, the Simeons. So the
Simeons.
Simeons, yeah, 3 sisters.
Yeah.
You know, straight out of Miami. Well, they're from California.
Okay.
But they living in Miami currently right now, based in Miami. But they're unbelievable.
Has anybody played 6 Degrees of Akon with you before?
Nah.
So you know how the game works, right?
Yeah.
6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon.
No, I don't know.
So there's within 6 different people you can trace back to a movie or a relationship or somehow you know Kevin Bacon. Have you met Kevin Bacon?
Yeah, I'm bad with names. I'm bad with names, but I know for sure that 6 Degrees in the music business would apply to me 100%.
Easily.
Yeah.
Could it be probably 4?
Like
If I was to give you a list right now,
less.
let's just say if I was to pull up any list of random artists right now and just say, hey, give me in 4 or 5. Let's say Bun B with UGK.
Oh my goodness, yeah, all day.
We obviously.
All day.
How about Run DMC?
1,000% through Russell or Run.
Okay. Snoop, we know that's
That's all
automatic.
day,
Lil
yeah.
Wayne, we know you work with.
All day.
Kanye, we know
All
this.
day.
Ludacris,
What? Man, that's that's so close.
Salt and Pepper.
So no, that's the only one.
Oh,
That's the only one, but I got my connects is super locked in with hers.
Sir Mix-a-Lot.
With theirs. Sir Mix-a-Lot, nah. He was in the Midwest and I was too young at that time.
Okay. How about Sierra?
Yes, 100%.
Migos,
1,000%.
Doja Cat,
Absolutely.
Lil Baby,
What? Of course.
Gunna.
100%.
Okay, man. You see, there's not even 6 degrees here. It's probably
I'm telling
like
you,
only 4.
and anything from the generation from 2000, I would say 5
Yeah.
to now,
Yeah.
it's less than 1 or 2
That is crazy.
separation.
That's crazy. And I'm sure the royalty
Because you got to think
checks-
we put a lot of people on,
That's what I'm saying.
and a lot of people that we put on put other people on.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
so the Akon, your empire, I mean, it really is. Yeah, we know the checks and everything for the music side, but again, I'm going to come back to this because your philanthropy work and everything that you're doing, I really love what you're doing and how many people that you're really helping and you're impacting across the world.
No, that's what's up. Thank you,
Because you
bro.
could just easily take the money and say, I ain't doing no radio anymore. I'm not helping anybody out. I'm just going to take care of my family, my friends, and that's all we're going to do.
Oh, believe me, it's tempting.
Yeah. No, yeah. But
It's definitely
everybody's
tempting.
good, though, in your
But
camp,
yeah,
so-
I just know my purpose wasn't for that. You know what I mean? Like I believe that God puts, He puts everybody in position for a specific purpose in life, and we're all beacons to serve whatever His purpose is for. So I just don't believe that we all became popular or rich or influential because we're just talented. He gave us the talent for that to even be possible for a purpose of whatever we're here for. So I always said to myself that I feel like I wouldn't have not, served my purpose if I died rich.
Man,
I don't think you're gonna like
can't
that.
take it with you.
Yeah,
And they ain't gonna do nothing.
makes no sense.
Con,
Absolutely.
please don't make it another 4 years before we talk.
No.
Let's-
We
you know
gotta
what I
lock
mean?
it in.
Let's
We
not
gotta
wait
lock
another
it in.
4 years. Again, just congratulations, salute to you.
No, I appreciate
on,
that,
on
brother.
all the success, 20 years of trouble, and cheers to another 20, bro.
Man, cheers to another 20. And before I let you guys go, just know that Beautiful Day was the single to the new album that's dropping first week of March.
Okay, we got to hear.
Yeah, it's gonna
just
be
in time for spring break.
Unbelievable.
That's what we're doing, man.
Yep.
Akon, I love you, dog. Thank
You
you so
already
much,
know.
man. Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir.